What's up, family? It's Saturday morning. Hope everybody is good. Hope everybody is blessed, feeling good, feeling great. Um, I just wanted to hop on here. I've been thinking about how to communicate this message to the collective, or really anybody that wants to listen. Wants to listen being the key word, because I wanted to know that you all have a choice. I really wanted to communicate what it is that I've been able to figure out. I'm 31, and I've been able to figure out a lot of life at this point. But most importantly, and I don't want to sound like I'm just this old, ancient, wise elder, right? But to a certain degree, I am. We'll talk about that on a different video. But at the end of the day, just wanted to touch base about how you all have a choice, because we all have a choice, and not just you, it's me included. But as I've been on this path to enlightenment, it's very interesting that I've been able to figure out that there are, we've been lied to about so many things. And if you watch my previous video that I had made around my birthday time in June, this is going to be different, because that one, I was more asking questions and just trying to get people to think. I'm going to be honest, in this one, I'm just telling you what I figured out. I'm not asking no questions. Maybe I will here and there, but really I'm just telling you. And, you know, for you to do with it what you will. It's mainly because I want you to have the ability to choose, right? To know that there's more going on to life than what we've been led to believe. And to be completely honest with you, the elites, those that are in control and power, you know, of this country and really of this planet, they're betting that you're going to stay in this little square box that they've made for you. They're betting that everything that they taught you in school and have programmed into you in movies, TVs, mass media, that you're going to stick within that you can't see the bigger picture. But I think you can. I think they're wrong. I think as long as we have the correct information, know where to look, how to look, we can do anything. We can understand anything. We can grow and get through anything. All right, so just keep that in mind as I go through things. And I'm about to just dive right into just straight up, what have I figured out at this point in life? And I've been, just for those that don't know, I've been on a path to enlightenment and kind of a hiatus from the world for maybe about 3 years now. And there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot that you all should know. And if you don't care, that's okay. Keep scrolling. If you do care, here we go. So number one, they're going to try another wave of lockdowns. You heard that correctly. Hope that doesn't trigger you. But again, wouldn't you just rather know the truth? Regardless of if it triggers you, wouldn't you rather just me throw it right in your face so you can deal with that? Have a choice to deal with that? But yes, they are going to try another wave of lockdowns, and it will come soon, within the next several weeks or months, but it'll be in 2024. And likely before the election. I don't know if you saw, but just yesterday, I believe it was, that came out that the WHO, the WHO, World Health Organization, has said that there's a planet emergency over the monkeypox virus. To be honest, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it. I just want you to know again that you have a choice, that they're going to try another wave of lockdowns. If you did not learn from the first one, which was a test run to shut us down, do not take that vaccine that they're going to try to push, because they will come out with another vaccine. And I just think it's important that we learn when tyranny tries to take over and mandate us to do things without giving us proper information, accurate information, and most importantly, giving us a choice, that we learn from those mistakes. All right. If you're somebody who is a vaccine thumper, kind of like a Bible thumper, if you're heavy on vaccines, feel free, continue to do it. That's your prerogative. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was one of those growing up, but the numbers don't lie. The information speaks for itself. You just have to be willing to go look for it and don't listen to mainstream news about what they want you to believe, because that's programming. Okay, kind of like you program a remote when you used to, I'm a 90s baby, so we used to buy TVs. You had to program that remote, right, and that TV to get into certain frequencies, right? That's how you got it to work in the way that you wanted it to work. That's no different than mass media. They want to program our minds to think in the way that they want us to think. So I'm gonna let that simmer. You might even have to play that back a couple times if this is new information. Some of you, this won't be new information. Others of you, this will be brand new information, and that's okay. By the way, I used to think I was behind in this information I told you, it's been about 3 years that I've been on this journey. And I thought I was so lost, so behind, so late to the game. The reality is you can't be late. You can't be behind. We all wake up at our own different times. I just happen to be one of the souls that are older, and so things came to me quicker than the average. Let's not make this about me or individuals, because this is for the collective. This is for everybody. All right. So be on the lookout for the vaccine and another wave of lockdowns. Don't comply is my message, but to be honest, the overall message is you have a choice. It's not to be worried about what I'm talking about, or what I prefer, I should say. Next thing. The food that we eat often contains a bunch of unnecessary chemicals that actually cause our diseases. And by the way, you can see that I'm looking over to the side. I just have some notes, some things that I figured out, and we're just going to talk about it. But yes, the food that we eat is actually a big cause for our dis-ease, for our ailments, for our pains, whether it's stomach pains, gastrointestinal pains, right? Got to clean up that digestive system, brain fog, right, to where we can't think straight. The food that you eat matters. You've been lied to about the quality of our food. You've been lied to about how food works with the body. You need to understand that your body is electrical. It works off of electricity. And for those that's new to, you've never heard of that, that means alkaline foods, not acid-forming foods. Go look that up. That's one of your pieces of homework. Alkaline versus acid foods. Now remember, mainstream, big pharma, and news, they don't want you to know about that and the importance of that. So they're gonna be like, well, there's no test that proves, and this and that. You be the test. Go change your diet. If you don't feel good for whatever reason, change your diet to alkaline foods, right? Do that for like a month. See how that works out. See how much better you're feeling, right? Eat raw, right? Look up the benefits of eating raw food. So what is that? Salads, fruits, vegetables, right? Don't cook the nutrients out of your food if you're trying to heal. That doesn't mean you can't ever cook food, but just know when you're trying to heal, your body is nutrient deficient. It needs more. And I'm going to pause this video because my AC unit just kicked in and it's kind of loud. And I'm going to come right back. All right. So we were talking about alkaline versus acid-forming foods. Ultimately, just pay attention to that. It's very important if you want to heal your body. There's plenty of articles, videos, research out there for you to learn, for you to be able to teach yourself and learn what's important, what's not. I'm also here as a resource if you ever need to talk. I'm not going to act like I'm some biochemist or anything, that is proficient in this. I just know I've been able to heal my issues by following a certain plan and eating the right way. So I hope this helps. We're going to move on from that. Oh, but I do want to emphasize, along with the foods that you eat, you got to know that, so the food companies and then Big Pharma is in cahoots with the food companies. They're all owned by the same people, right? So then when you go have these issues, these dis-ease, when you go have these issues, what happens? We all know, you go see them, they say, oh, we got to figure out what's going on. They run tests, and then they want to, ultimately, the plan is to put you on some pills. Many times these are pills that you're going to be on indefinitely. That's what happened in my case. I'll never forget it. Oh, we're just going to do that forever. No, absolutely not. Right? You gotta understand, Big Pharma's in the business of relieving pain, but not relieving or curing the actual issue. Right? So they would rather tell you, that X, Y, and Z is causing it, when they know exactly what the issue is, but they don't want to tell you that, and they're going to run studies and push out misinformational studies so you can stay confused. On top of that, the people providing that care, the doctors, nurses, etc., they've been ingrained into the big pharma line of thinking through education. Stay with me there, right? Think about that for a second. Our educational system is bought. That's why we don't, many of us felt like it was a waste of time. I myself was basically a straight A student in school, but I thought it was a waste of time, right? I did it because my parents would get up on me if I didn't have good grades, etc. But at the end of the day, we weren't learning anything of use. Think back to your schooling right now. I don't care if you 15, 30, 40, 50, how much of that do you use in your day-to-day right now? I'm going to assume maybe 20% of what you learned in school over all those years you actually use in life. Maybe. If you're lucky. 20%. Right? So I need you to really think through that aspect of how you're living your life, what your healthcare looks like, how much, when I say you have a choice, you do have a choice in that. You have a choice in realizing that the current structure of our American culture is not conducive to long-term success, whether it's health-wise, whether it's food-wise, whether it's economically, and I haven't even gotten there yet, whether it's historical, whether it's spiritual. I need you to really think about that. Again, I'm not about to sit there and try to prove that I'm right. Those who want to know will do the research or reach out to me. This isn't one of those things where we're going back and forth and I want to prove to you that I'm right. I am telling you in this video what's going on. It's up to you to do the research. Why? Because you have a choice. All right, moving on. Most of the history that we've been taught of America is a lie. The biggest lie is actually, which is the biggest lie, why we have all these underlying lies, is that we're alone in the universe. That's the biggest lie. I know that just triggered people. Oh, what kind of drugs is this man on? Alone in the universe. We are not alone. We are not the only form of intelligent life. There is so much more to just this planet that we aren't told about that they know. Let's start with America. Again, this is going to trigger people. I don't care. I'm telling you in today's video what's going on. And most of you that are going to be seeing this know me on a personal level. You know that I'm not racist. You know that I speak from my heart and I tell it how it is. And I don't care about clout. I'm not even the person that posts on social media really ever. Right? So I'm telling, I don't care about, this isn't about being right. I'm telling you what I've been able to figure out and prove. But I don't need to prove it to the world. The world needs to actually do the work themselves. So the only way you're going to know is if you do it yourself. But I am here as a resource. But the so-called Black or African American people, if you haven't been able to figure out, this is for all people from all walks of life, though, this information. The so-called Black and African American individuals are actually indigenous to the Americas. Sure, there were some people that got brought over from Africa, but you got to understand that this planet has been black, quote unquote, really melanated beings have been here for a long time, much longer than the Bible, much longer in history than what you would even perceive. Melanated individuals, copper-colored individuals have been around even going back to the ancient times of the Romans and the Greeks and all of that. In fact, there were Europeans, right, many of them that were black. Have you ever heard of Queen Europa? Where the name Europe comes from. Have you ever heard of the Moors? I'm pausing with intention there. If you don't know about these things, don't get triggered. let's scratch that, do get triggered, but get triggered in a positive way, meaning you prompt yourself to do research. And remember, you got to look up multiple sources. You got to do some actual work if you care to actually get the real answers. If you just want to be right, you'll go to Google and you'll look at the first thing that you see and be like, oh, that's right. But you got to understand, Google is a publicly traded company. They are owned by the elites just like everything else. So you've got to actually be able to be willing to do some, like, a little bit of underground work, right? Do some work that's not mainstream, so you can look at various sources, have conversations with people that are in this kind of mindset, right, that can help you along with this path. It's very important to get that, because a lot of this stems down to the fact that they tried to use race in order to separate us. And of course, here goes my tenant's AC unit. So we're just going to get up and walk around. I don't care. I don't even have to sit here. But a lot of what they tried to do is use race in order to separate us. And it's so important to understand that black versus white and this and that, it's not even that. It's a class war. It's a frequency war. What do I mean by that? We'll get to frequency, sound, and vibration later. You know what? No, I want to talk about that right now. Sound, frequency, and vibration. If you haven't heard of that, please go look it up. If you haven't heard about how sound can heal the body, so how does sound affect water? Look that up. You can probably look that up right on YouTube. How does sound impact water? You can see the water moving around as you watch the video. And remember that most of our body is made of water. So sound, frequency matters. Vibration in your environment matters, because that directly impacts your body. You don't have a choice in that. You have to hydrate, otherwise you die. So when you hydrate, understand what is happening in the environment around you, how the sound matters, how the vibration matters, how you feel matters. Let's go back to the fact that the history of this planet has been a lie. Intelligent life has been around for a long time. There are different dimensions of reality. We exist or think of the 3D, right? The third dimension. But what if I told you that there are beings that exist in the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, the seventh? I could keep going. Right here on Earth, though. What if I told you that the government, your governments, plural, have known this? In fact, what if I told you that World War II had an element of interacting with different dimensions within it? What if I told you that Hitler, who we all know about, but demonized, actually there's an element to interdimensional reality with what Hitler was doing? That would blow some people's wigs back. However, right, what we've been told is that it was all about the Jews and conquering Europe and possibly the world. But why, though? Right? Why was he so worried about the Jews? Why was he so worried about conquering Europe and all this and that? There's much more to the story, is my point. Then you have to ask yourself, well, why would they care about what we're doing when it comes to not knowing? Let me rephrase that. Why would they care if we know about the real history of the planet? And that is because if we knew about the reality of life, if we knew that there are much bigger and badder things out there, but much more powerful things out there when it comes to spirituality, spiritual beings, we would respond differently to their influence of fear. If you notice, fear is how they push things on us. And these lies are exactly why we don't get the change that we expect. We keep voting, but you can't vote your way out of tyranny. Think about that. If somebody wants to be tyrannical over you or have power over you, how do you vote your way out of that? If they control the way you think, meaning your education, if they control the way you see the world, mass media, right? If they control what you can do as far as operating in the world, that's your finances. If they control what is exciting to you, your entertainment, right? That's your sports. That's your, most importantly, your Hollywood, right? Your music, your TV shows, your movies. Some of you are just finding out, but many of you don't know that the movies that we watch, especially when it comes to war or anything like that with history, that goes through the Pentagon first. They want to put their spin on it or tell you what they want you to know. Again, and this all simmers down to one reality. That you are connected in a spiritual way directly to the planet and directly to the universe. They don't want you to know that. Let me repeat that one more time for the people in the back or people that are doing other stuff that can't focus. The most important thing I just said, the whole reason that all these lies happen, the whole reason that you are lost or confused or frustrated and you don't understand why things are never fixed, why things are never resolved, or why we keep having wars or you can't ever get out of debt and all this and that, because that's the plan. The plan is to keep you lost, because when you don't have those things, they then have to answer a bunch of questions about the real reality of this planet and the fact that God is within you as an individual. You can do the inner work and reconnect all of your chakras, your energy centers, to the planet and to the universe. You could actually do that. God has always been around you and in you and through you, in everything. Right? If God is omnipotent, it would be in everything. He or she would be in everything, right? And there's probably some other things that I could tell you that I figured out, etc. But that's the crux. That's the point. So, apparently this is already 15 minutes on the second video. So, I didn't even expect to go this long. But anyway, I hope this resonates. I hope this does something for your soul. All right. I hope this means something to you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Don't come on this video trying to be negative or push back for those that want to learn and want to elevate and level up their life. If you want to do that, go somewhere else, go on your page and say how dumb this video was. That's fine. I don't really care about that. But I'm creating a space for learning, for growth, and for this time where, if you haven't realized, we are in the Great Awakening. We're in it, living it. That's why they can't hide. That's why all the things, even with the Olympics, are in your face now. And so I'll end with this. Again, you have a choice. You have a choice in remembering who you are. Who are you? Am I just Dexter Walker, first lifetime on Earth and just living, and then when I die, that's it? I'm going to tell you, I already know that that's not the case for me. This ain't my first lifetime, and even if I die, or when I die in this life, it won't. I'm coming back, whether it's here or a different planet. This is not it for me. I'm an infinite being. I'm a divine being. And I know that sounds conceited. That sounds this and that, whatever. Again, I'm not going to sit here and argue. I want you to hear that confidence, to hear that knowing, and to know that for many of you, that's you too. Some of y'all, to be honest, are just NPCs. Have you ever heard of that? There's like, think of playing a video game and there's a robot AI in there that just says the same 5 lines all day. Unfortunately, some of y'all are just that. Again, if it don't resonate for you, I'm sorry. I don't really have, I'm not, I'll just say I'm sorry and leave it at that. But for those of you who this does resonate for, I ask you to simply do the work. To simply hear what I'm saying. Don't try to be right, but try to get it right. All right? And know that you're not alone in this journey of awakening. There's an entire planet of us awakening. They can't stop the message. They want to. You're not going to see it on mass media. You're not going to see it all over your TV screens. But it's happening. I'm not the first to wake up. I won't be the last. So peace, love, happiness to all. And I'll see y'all in the next video.